On the morning he was supposed to be celebrating a comeback, the FBI came for Kerr Kriisa. No warning. No lawyer on the line. Just federal agents at the door, and a 25-year-old point guard from Estonia learning that the next stop on his itinerary was not a basketball gym. It was a holding cell. Then an extradition flight to West Virginia. The holiday weekend, for him, was over before it started. By Saturday afternoon, the news had crossed the Atlantic. According to Kentucky Sports Radio, Kriisa had been taken into custody in connection with a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme. Not a parking ticket. Not a misunderstanding. A fraud scheme prosecutors say dates back to his one season as a Mountaineer. A hearing was already scheduled for the following week. And a basketball career that had survived 6 college seasons, 2 European leagues, and a string of brutal injuries, was suddenly facing a much older kind of opponent. To understand the gravity of this moment, you have to understand the road. Kerr Kriisa was a teenage prodigy in Estonia, sharp enough to land in the Zalgiris system in Lithuania, experienced enough to play professionally in Germany before he ever set foot on a U.S. campus. When he arrived at West Virginia, he was supposed to be the veteran floor general. The connector. The player who made everyone around him better. Instead, that one season in Morgantown would follow him out the door and, eventually, into a federal complaint. After 1 year in Morgantown, Kriisa transferred to Kentucky. Mark Pope's first roster. A new system. A new identity. For a while, it looked like a reset. Then the injuries came, the way they always seemed to for him. A foot problem ended his season early. The minutes shrank. The role dissolved. He had come to Lexington to write a redemption chapter, and he left Lexington still searching for the next page. So he transferred again. Cincinnati, last spring. A fresh start, a new jersey, a chance to be a starter one more time. He opened the year as a key piece in the rotation. And then the pattern repeated. Injuries. Limited minutes. A slow fade out of the picture. By season's end, his stat line read 5.8 points and 3 assists a game, in just 19 appearances. The numbers of a player the sport was quietly walking past. And then, briefly, a different kind of headline. Just 1 week before the arrest, Kriisa signed a professional contract with his hometown club in Estonia. Tartu Ylikool. He was going home. He was going to play the game he loved, in the country where he grew up, in front of the people who had watched him first pick up a basketball. The basketball tournament came next. A summer run with La Familia, the Kentucky alumni squad, in Lexington and Louisville. The comeback tour was booked. The posters were printed. The page was about to turn. Then Saturday happened. According to the report, federal agents moved on Kriisa before he could board the plane to Lexington. The TBT debut, scheduled for this month, is now indefinitely off. A multi-million-dollar fraud case is now attached to a name most college basketball fans knew only as a tough, tattooed point guard with deep three-point range and a longer injury report than highlight reel. Whatever he was supposed to become, between now and October, has been placed on hold by a court in West Virginia. There is a particular cruelty to this kind of story. Not the kind where the athlete is publicly caught, publicly shamed, publicly suspended. The kind where the player almost made it. Almost turned the corner. Almost got out clean. He had a contract. He had a tournament. He had a jersey with his name on the back, waiting in a locker somewhere. And in one weekend, the jersey stayed folded, the court stayed empty, and a 25-year-old who once said college basketball made him smiley is now learning the weight of a word like extradition. The legal process will move slowly. Court dates, motions, lawyers, and a story that will not be resolved by tip-off next season. For now, the name Kerr Kriisa is no longer attached to a scouting report. It is attached to a federal case. And the strangest part, the part that will keep basketball people up at night, is how ordinary the rest of it looked. A transfer. A contract. A tournament. All the small steps of a career that almost made it back.